Um, I do think that he is a hit maker. Of course, he knew how to make a hit. I might put him on my Mount Rushmore of flows. So if we're talking about people who have like the most creative flows, most versatile flows, like you were talking about that Redman and Method Man show, I could see me putting Ludacris on the Mount Rushmore of flows. I got Ludacris. I think Project Pat should be on there. We're just talking about just straight up flows.
I like Project Pat's flow, definitely.
His flow's
Nobody
crazy.
can duplicate that. You can't duplicate that.
It's timely too. It's like he knows when to use it, and when he uses it, like, oh shit. Like he did on that Prophet Posse song on that Hypnotized Camp Posse song. What was the name of that song? Anyway, it'll come to me in a second. Where he was like, "So you want to try a nigga with the niner?" It did it right when the beat dropped. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I might go Rakim because he did innovate flows when everybody was rapping a certain way.
Flows, right?
Yeah, Mount Rushmore flows. Who y'all got in the chat? Who am I missing? I mean, I know Jay has a very versatile flow. Pimp C's flow is crazy. T.I.'s flow is crazy too. But I will give Ludacris credit. He has a very he's very creative with the flow.
So I gotta give Snoop on there because Snoop may not look at him as the most lyrical, but his flow makes up for it. Like we said, he could say the most simplified stuff, but the way he just swags it out on there is hands down. I see somebody I love Big Daddy Kane, definitely. And as a performer too. Big Daddy Kane's amazing. Rakim, hands down, just how he comes on, thinking of a master plan. Like I remember, like I think you mentioned it before, when Will Smith, he talked about how he kind of got on to Rakim's rhyme scheme to do Summertime. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, hell yeah. Rakim.
Yeah.
Biggie.
I like Slick Rick's flow. I always did. Even when I was a kid and Slick Rick was before my time. Like Slick Rick's flow is so crazy, man. It's like it's so effortless. It has so much personality. And yeah, you can't duplicate Slick Rick. Got that British accent with it. Shit is crazy. I don't know. That's a hard one, man. Mount Rushmore flows. I'm gonna have to look up the significance of Mount Rushmore as well, because you gotta have the creator. It'll come to me in a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When they're even saying Biggie, like I said, we look at Biggie One More Chance remix. Then I'm looking at Warning, and then I'm looking like I got a story to tell. Like Warning, like I said, that's my favorite Biggie song of all time. Who the fuck is this? Pace me at 5:46 in the morning. Break of dawn.
The coal out my eyes. Like his rhyme scheme, so underrated.
Come on, man. Come on.
When he switched up his rhyme scheme on Can't Stop the Rain with Shaq, when he was like, hold on. It's that last verse. Allowed to a limit. My BA women, elevators in them, vehicles or televisions in them. Watch their entourage turn yours to just mirages. Disappearing acts, strictly nods and max. Killers be serial. Copperville material. My dreams is vivid. Work hard to live it. Any place I visit, I got land there. How can niggas stand there and say I sound like them? Hello. Push wigs back and push Ben's coops. That's yellow. It was like something that land the elbow. Shoot up your days in any teller you in. Crack mine and I'm thinking, how about me be dragging? It's like, yo, this nigga is switching it up. He did that on Notorious Thugs too. Like every 4 bars, he was just switching up his flow. He might deserve to be in this list too.
Yeah, man. Big. I even want to get some love to Coogee Rap. I even want to get some love to Coogee Rap because Coogee Rap was nice, and you could tell the influence on Nas, and even that the Fast Life record with them too, amazing. I said that's.
I want to say this is what Mount Rushmore represents, and maybe we can put it in context here, right? So, choosing to represent the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation. That's what each face on Mount Rushmore represents.
Shout out to people saying Tretch, because when we had our group chat, I put Tretch in mine too. Tretch is amazing.
So the birth, If we're talking flow, that's Rakim. Yeah, no.
We gotta, I guess, yeah, we gotta give the Rakim.
The growth. What represents the growth? Would that be well? LL Cool J could be there too, but the growth maybe that is Snoop. Development. I don't know. This is too hard.
Yeah,
Preservation. I don't know.
but like hands down, Rakim, Jay, Biggie, Snoop, and we could interchange that. Like we could interchange that. We could plug a lot of people in there. We could even throw Nas in there, even though I don't think that he has a wide or range of flows compared to like other people we name. But Nas's flow is one of them things that is at least in the top 10.
And it
We can't.
changed the way that people are rhyming. So yeah,
we have to put it in the top 10. Method Man, he gets love. I mean, even hearing Method Man on the What with Biggie. Even hearing Method Man on the What with Biggie.
Like, I'm glad you said that. Because me and Ron Bay were doing this piece on Illmatic, right? And Ron Bay even kind of put me on the game. I think he was doing some research, reading something that Method Man said. He said Method Man said that he borrowed Nas's style for the What with Biggie. I never heard it before, but I guess I can kind of hear that now. But Method Man has such a different voice than Nas. It's like you don't hear it. Yo, the way he switched up on My Made Up too. What he was like, Mr. Cab Staten Island. We'll be back. Rarely do you see an MC out for justice. Got my gunpowder and my musket. Blow. Felons get swelling. I paint mental pictures like Magellan. Half of my clan, we deep felons. Niggas that's protect their joints to non-nickel. Man, I stay on point like I said. Sorry, I got to go through the whole verse. No, test the cap. Test the cap. All of you Oh yeah, when he was like, "Better take one in cash or that's that ass." Your vital statistics are low and falling fast. Johnny Blaze out to get loot like Johnny Cash. Play a game of Russian roulette and have a blast. I was like, as a kid, I'm like, whoa, what did he just say? Like,
and the fact that Method Man is like he kills features. Like I said, he's one of the top feature killers. We collab with all the greats, really. Like Meth is that guy. Like I said, I seen somebody say Tretch. Tretch was on my personal list in our group chat that we have, Mike. Tretch, when I hear him flowing on Hip Hop Parade, or even
you heard a lot about Brother Gang and Mo Ground being low down or do the showdown with any little hoe round. I want to know who you believe in. It's like it's so fluid too. Like it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? OPP alone.
Apart the spreads apart. Like, yo, Tretch.
People are getting those the records was Tretch. It wasn't Vinny. It was really Tretch. Those are Tretch records. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they were. OPP literally is a Tretch record.
Tretch records, man.
Lord with the super chat says Spice One's flow. Yeah, Spice One's crazy.
Shout out Spice One.
You remember Tretch on Filmy Flow? It's like you about to feel the chronicles of Bionicle lyrically spitting, just hitting them on a mission. It's just, yeah. I used to know that whole verse, but his flow was very original.
We got other super chats. He done put some good names on there, man.
I see Twister's flow. See, Twister, you know what? I will say this. We got Twister. He says E40's flow. Now, E40 could be on that Mount Rushmore flow just for how different it is. I think Twister, his flow is really, really dope, but it might get overshadowed by how fast he's rapping. If we talk about a fast rapper with a dope flow, I always thought Crazy Bones' flow was beautiful. Pause. Crazy Bones' flow is just beautiful. Like,
yeah, I agree. But Twister, to me, like I said, man, I hear Twister on Po Pimp. Come on, man.
That's one of the best features ever. I don't care what anybody says.
So logically, be learning these souls biology, but honestly,
that crazy on there. It can't. I tell this story all the time, man. When I went to the store and I looked on the back of Do or Die's album and saw it was featuring Twista, I was like, "Oh, he's not in the group. I'm not buying this album." Like, I was gonna buy the album if he was in the group.
Because don't get me wrong, Do or Die even float that out. Like I said, the Learning Souls biology, like they was dope. But when Twista came on there and took over that record, Even
I've been running
T.I.
more games than popping poker chips. Look at the ladies with open lips and the provoking hips. I never had to tell them any lies. I've been looking in the city skies. Look at him in the look at him in the
Yeah.
bitty's eyes. He's like, peanut butter complex is a pretty eye. You gotta be right, gotta be
Yeah.
yeah.
Of a click want to know what that would be like. I know you want to try that to the rhythm of a hi-hat before you deny that. Come on, man. That's a good type of
Don't be bogus and deny that. Where your ride?
Yeah. Like, and then emotions. Remember, let me play with your emotions.
Emotions was crazy.
Come on, man. Get it
Yo,
wet.
I had that on tape, man. Laura with the super chat says Kendrick's flow. Kendrick's got a dope flow. Kendrick's got a lot of flows though. That's the thing. Like, which Kendrick flow do you like the most? Like, he has a lot of. I don't know if I would put him on the Rushmore, maybe for preservation, if there is. Yeah. What about Future?
I have to. It's not a super chat, but I have to highlight this because he said one of my favorites, and that's the Brat on the Live and Die for Hip Hop. Oh my god,
Yeah, she killed.
Oh my god, I love the video.
The next nigga to get deleted by death. Undefeated ain't no thing to put that body to rest. Chest filled with smoke, yoking niggas up by the collar.
I'm an advocate for the Brat. I'm always saying the Brat deserves more love, man. The Brat deserves more love, dog. Like,
I think that, and I've always said that too. And I love the Brat coming out the gate because Funktify was dope. Yeah. And her features are crazy at the time. But I feel like
for others.
Oh yeah, she was writing for others. I feel like she lacked identity moving forward, though. I think when they kind of piggybacked off of the G-Funk with Funktified, it kind of put her in a place where after G-Funk was gone, it was like she was kind of finding her sound and kind of almost had to start over, if you will. And was connecting with like the fast rappers.
Yeah, I think what killed Brat for the most part is just, in this game, like I said, you're victim of relevancy. And I think when you're on a bout of not keep on coming out and producing that music and then you catch that charge. Because even her efforts before she went in, like when with the joint when she had the record with Tyrese and What I'm Looking For, you know what I'm saying? Like even that had some joints on it. I just think her biggest thing was her catching that case. Because even on the Ladies Night record, she killed that with her, Left Eye, Angie Martinez, Missy Elliott. Who else was on that record? Lil Kim. Yeah, she even went ham on that. She killed that.
I feel like Left Eye had the best verse. Now I used to think the Brat had the best verse.
Gotta go back and look at Ladies Night. The Brat killed that shit.
Yes, she did.
She killed that shit. Come on, man.
Lord with the super chat says KRS like a penny bake. This is 1 penny. My philosophy. KRS got a flow too. And he was able to change with the times as well. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great flows out there. I guess it would have to be more specific, creative flows. And I'll give Ludacris that. Like, Ludacris has some of the most creative flows. You never know how he's going to approach a record. Like that flow that he used on that Sierra record, crazy.
Oh, yeah. He killed
Something styles get wild, old school's coming down in a different color whip, bitch up perfect. When you want to take a click, call up Jazzy, tell him pop the bottles because he got another hit. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he really put a lot of time and effort into, creating some new flows and all that. I'll definitely give Luda that.
And his freestyles on his early albums was crazy, like Back for the First Time and even Word of Mouth. Like I remember we had the joint with 4 Eyes, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to 4 Eyes.
I remember that shit off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like the freestyle to that. See, I live a life filled with chicken and mount liquor, a woman at a real life scratch and sniff sticker. I shoot videos and get knob flobbed in trailers and hit stage and break a leg like Lawrence Taylor. Come on, man. Like, come on, man.
I remember the first time he was on Rap City, man. And I think this is the first time he was in the basement. He was like, Ludacris, I powerbombed that ass like Kevin Nash. So I was like, oh, snap.
Oh, man. We got to give it up. Like, another guy who I don't think get mentioned the most for flow because he didn't really put out like that. We got to Mace.
You like Mace's flow like that? Shout out to somebody saying Shauna. I think Shauna was one of the most talented artists that didn't get the push she deserved. Yeah.
Shauna's still dope. But yeah, Mace, man. I know they don't give a lot of, I don't know, people kind of put Mace in this weird box because of Shiny Suit era and Diddy and stuff, but Murder Mace is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Mace
Well,
was, if you love Fab, you gotta love Mace.
I was gonna say, now that you mentioned Mace, I will give credit to Cam too, and how he kind of changed up. Because Cam, first two albums, he's rhyming a certain way, right? But when Cam changed it up and changed up the flow, and that whole Dipset movement became a thing, like the one word thing that he was doing, he changed the way a lot of people was rapping. Like that, I'm trying to think of an example because it's so much. But when he's like, damn dog, you 12 and a half, 12 in the stash, like that type of stuff. Or no, here we go. I'm on the west side of Chicago looking for a bus down. Make me put my two arms up. Touchdown.
Yeah,
As soon as I touch down, you stay in touchdown. I'm like buckshot shorty. Duck down. Yeah, I must clown. I'm from Harlem Uptown. What we slash shit. Take your bitch and ask you what now. Bitches
yep,
dick say, yeah.
yep,
Go and kiss a husband. Call him kissing cousin. Toya's kissing muffin. Shit's disgusting. Keep the chickens clucking. I'm like, yo, his flow is crazy. This on my wrist is nothing. It's just yellow hearts and pink diamonds. Where you think I got the dough for this? Don't think rhyming. Fucking with
yeah.
Pablo. Yeah, like, yo, Cam, his flow was and I never heard anybody rap like that before. And I like when people do that. Like, you
That was one of
hear
the
a new
dopest
flow.
push-ups he did because Cam used to actually kind of spit faster, so that
Mm-hmm.
slow it down. You actually see Cam's influence from the South a lot. Him kicking it down
Yeah.
there in Texas and stuff. I think he went to college in Texas where he played ball.
Okay.
Whatever. So you see the Southern influence in his switch up a little bit. I think that's fair to say.
I
Cam's
keep
nice, but that Murder Mace, man, like I'm telling
yeah.
you, even I put this in my personal group chat too, and I see somebody in the comments. Pun, bro. Pun, the 187, him and Fat Joe. Like I said, I think I seen this on the Liberty show on a previous show. I still can't get that pun shit down packed on that verse. The little Italy line, like yo, the
Yeah,
187.
that in the middle of Little Italy, diddle did he know that he riddled the middleman who didn't do diddly. That verse was crazy, but when the one before that, when he was like, I rub your face off the earth and curse your family's children like Amityville and drill the nerves in your cavity feeling insanity's building a pavilion in my civilian. And can it be the energy that humanity's building? I was like, yo, Fat Joe side, brother.
The Heather B reference. He's the first one to do a Heather B reference. I know, like they was on Two Chainz, fucking Heather B, whatever. He had the Heather B line in the
Put my block down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was dope. It was actually kind of dope. But I know, if you're a hip hop head, you'll know, Heather B. But if people who don't, Heather B is the co-host with Sway on Sway in the Morning. She was
Yeah.
she was dope.
She was on the first cast of The Real World too. Shout out to Heather B.
Heather B was nice.
Raising here with the super chat says Smooth the Hustler's flow. I ain't on Smooth the Hustler like that. I need to get hip. But I mean, I would say this. I think that Southern rappers, for the most part, I think that we're more into the flow and the different, flows and cadences. Nobody wanted to sound like each other. Like Goody Mob is a group of 4 people who sound totally different from each other. 8Ball and MJG. Somebody mentioned MJG. Like,
too.
It's funny somebody mentioned MJG, and I like MJG more than 8Ball. I'm in the minority, I'm sure. But if we talk about flow, that's all 8Ball. Flow is 8Ball. Straight up. The flow is 8Ball.
But MJG on Space Age Pimpin' though.
I be obliged. Man, I feel like MJG is one of the most underrated rappers, period. Yeah. The Razor Head with the super chat says Cam and T.I. got better using their normal voices. That's true. I mean, we don't know. I guess it is their normal voice, but yeah, they got better when they changed their style. I would say the same thing about Common, because on the first album, Common wasn't rapping like the Common we know today, and they found their style. That's tough. When you came out with a whole album or two with a whole nother style, and then you change your style all the way up. I got to give them credit for that. That's crazy.
Man, there's a lot of dope flows to this hip hop thing, man. There's a lot of great artists, like, because even the combination of Cam, Slow Flow, and when he did Adrenaline Rush over with Twista was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. The original was crazy, but when they did it with Cam, that is crazy. Like, yeah, man. Yeah.
Cam got bars, man. People used to laugh at me when I said that, man. But Cam, nigga was spitting,
I mean,
man.
like I said, my favorite in Dipset over the time span has been Jim Jones, but Cam was dope. Cam was dope before Dip though, as far
Yeah.
as because what was that album he came out with?
Sex, Drugs, Entertainment?
Got the overalls on.
Yeah. Oh,
The-
you talking about shit.
I forgot the name of that
Fire.
album.
Confessions of Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, well, is
I
that the one that
wasn't
had
really Cam on the first two albums. I really wasn't. It took the
Horse and Carriage was on that album, right? Horse and Carriage was on that album, right?
Yeah, that was on Confessions of Fire. I wasn't really into Cam at that point. And, I thought his flow was, like I said, I was more in the pun, as far as that collective. I was in the pun, Cannabis, Mace, if you want to throw him in there too. But I wasn't really into Cam like that. But when Cam changed up his flow and got with The Rock and dropped, damn, what's the Rockefeller album? I'm tripping.
The Cam
See
album?
the cover in my head. Yeah. Come Home With Me. When he dropped Come Home With Me, I was like, oh man, I can't deny it anymore. This nigga's fine.
I remember he spit over the pot joint on there, the Leave Me Alone joint. I think Daz had that record too. Oh well, shit, Daz produced that record, I believe. But
Losing Weight on there.
Yeah, man.
But that Rockefeller song is my favorite Just Blaze beat ever. That I was like, whoa.
Home With Me was dope.
Go ahead, stupid. Go fuck with them chicks. I'm the third little piggy. I'ma fuck with them bricks. Better yet, bakeries. I got pies and cakes. Niggas think doubling is turning 5 to 8. I turn 8 to 20, 20 to 100, 100 to 1,000, that to 100,000. In front of house, close them all down, dog. No one's allowed. I'm copping everything. I'm done with browsing. Get your shit rock more like Hasim Rockmore. Extra scary. CEOs are the front and ain't necessary. I fucking secretary offer information. It ain't necessary. They in love like the 14th of February. Play them like April 1st right before I slide off. It could be March 2nd. Sound like July 4th. Halloween or Memorial Day at your memorial be 1 year from today.
Hey man, Purple Haze too.
Yeah, Mace is I'm not Mace. Cam is underrated, actually. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Purple Haze is not like that's what I'm saying, man. That's at the end of the day, we argue whose is better than who or catalogs, whatever. When it really come into this culmination of everybody contributing to this hip hop thing, we have to appreciate what we appreciate. Everybody may have had a time. Some people may have had a movement. Some people there's so many people that contributed to this shit that why we love it so much, man.
Yeah, some people had a moment, you know what I mean? And everybody does have their moments, and the moments are great. I just want that level of originality, and I don't even want to say competitiveness or whatever, but like we were talking about slam dunk contest earlier, like you should just want to be able to go out there and do something special, man. And you can't do nothing special. You're just sitting on the sidelines, man. Like guys, just go out there and make something, man.
And their post on IG and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, than they do being in the music. Put that shit in the music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think that's what's just lacking. We got a lot of people going back and forth on socials, but they're not putting it in the music. And then when they do put it in the music, it's kind of like, the output don't be the same. It's just like the thing that we love about the game so much and why we could put people on the Mount Rushmores and we could rate them or whatever, because everybody was contributing, but everybody wanted to be different. Being like the next person wasn't going to get you nowhere in hip hop. Being a biter is something that people frowned upon. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can get you out the game depending on who you biting.
That's interesting, man. And I don't want to get on that soapbox, but there was a post that somebody shared with me, and I ended up sharing it on According to Hip Hop, but it was from Master Ace where he was freestyling, and just that early Eminem style, like that punchline, like you could tell that Eminem was obviously inspired by Master Ace, but it was it was kind of biting, right? And it's funny that Master Ace has that verse on the symphony where he says, "There's a sign outside, no biting allowed," and it's always been the thing where it's like, you don't get no props for biting. Like, be original, even if your original is somewhat whack to people. Like, I respect Silk the Shocker because you might think he's whack. People, I'm not saying you, but in general. But his style was original. Somebody
Awesome.
could say maybe E40 ish with his style, but at least he's trying to do something new.
Yeah, I like everybody that contributes to the game with something new and fresh, dog. And I think, like I said, I think what is new and fresh to some of these younger rappers is the way they dress and having tattoos all on the face. But when it comes down to this music, the thing that we really want to judge, um, is like mini me's. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Mini
like
me's.
nigga, I can't listen to your clothes. I can't listen to, you know what I'm saying, what you wearing. Like
Yeah,
that
like
does
come with
nothing.
something fresh. You know what I'm saying? Give us something new. Honestly, when I think about it, who's the newest of recent rappers that actually gave us something new and fresh?
I will say this, and he might be not be super new, maybe like
Mhm.
8 years in now, obviously, but you know, it's crazy how time flies. But I would say Lil Uzi to a certain extent.
I could
I
understand.
remember hearing what is it? It was on Two Chainz album, a couple albums back. It was called Free Lighter. And it was a song with him, Chief Keef, and Lil Uzi. And I heard that they were rapping in a way that I was like, I don't think I ever heard anybody flow like that. And I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might not have been something that I'm going to just listen to every day, I respect the fact that, you know what, they found a new way to do this thing.
You know, I've heard stories that the Uzi we know now is not necessarily the Uzi talent in full capacity of what he has. I've always heard that. That he actually did rap.
I
More
can
so on the side
believe
of
it.
him on. So I think, when I'm thinking about newer rappers or, of the 2010s or whatever on beyond, oh man, like I said, it's hard to not mention people that brought something new and fresh to the game without mentioning the big three or without mentioning Wale or ASAP or even Nicki, man. Even Nicki. Like
Yeah.
Nicki's influence on a lot of female rappers, whether they say it or not. I can even see what people are drawing the comparisons from Dolce to Nicki with how she animates some of her
Easy. Of
clothes. Yeah.
course.
So
The
we even
theatrical approach.
yeah, even Nicki. Like I said, I'm a Wale fan. I think Wale, bringing that sound of DC as far as the go-go infused stuff in the hip hop was kind of dope early on. The mixtape About Nothing and things like that in his albums. Man, there's some people. There's some people. I think Big Crit is under the radar for how dope
Yeah.
Big Crit was. I think I don't know, man. Certain artists sometimes they're victims of labels, and I think Crit is one of those who really never got the full credit for how dope he was. Um,
Timing too. I think if Crit
yeah,
happens about 5 years after he actually happened, I think something's different. You know, I hear I don't want to say new Crit songs, but songs that I probably slept on, from Crit all the time, and I'm like, yo, man, this nigga was really dope,
Crit was dope. But yeah,
super.
it's hard to really think about when we start going further and further from that class of all those people. It's hard to now start naming rappers that has the impact of flows because like now these rappers now of course they're not making music to us like for us like NBA YoungBoy like stuff that's not music for me, but if
Yeah,
I could understand it I could get it. My little cousin he listens to a lot of them and everything, and I could understand it, but it's still I think he's one of the leaders of that class where NBA YoungBoy does numbers. People love NBA YoungBoy.
yeah, he
um
got a real
I
fan
can't
base.
give an opinion on it because I don't really listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But as we start to go through where we're at now and coming from that 2010s till now, it's getting shakier and shakier, man. It's like even when we go back and we were to look from where we started on the double XL magazines, like the freshman covers until now, from those incoming classes, it's kind of like, damn, bro, like it's kind of sad, like where we're at as far as like the originality and who's bringing something new and fresh to the game. You know, who's somebody new who's most recent who I could fuck with. I like Big X the Plug. You know, I was one of the
Hell
first
yeah.
people to be able to
Yeah,
say,
you were
like,
the person to put me on to him. So yeah.
yeah, X the Plug, man. I think Big X the Plug is dope. Like I said, I like Doshi. A lot of people
Joey
are just.
Badass is dropping 3 songs at midnight, I heard. I just got that alert.
I'm not mad at what Joey Badass is doing right now. If he's really just rapping, like if you just making dopes, his last joint he did with the video was dope.
It was. You know what? I think Westside Gunn should actually executive produce his album.
I don't know.
Why?
I think he should keep doing what he's doing, but come with a body of work. I didn't feel
Yeah.
like I didn't like the what's the name, you know, the beef joints too much, you know, like just come with the dope stuff and you want to do that afterwards though. Because I like Daylight's response. Daylight kind of wash Joey. You know what I'm saying?
Daylight's
Daylight,
crazy. You know, Daylight's crazy. Like people
yeah.
like Daylight and them, you know, the Lupe fiascos of the world. Like there's levels, man. Like
Daylight
you
got
know,
a battle coming up too, by the way. I forgot who he's battling. He got a battle coming up,
he
but
does have a battle coming up. I think is he battling in Atlanta? Because I know
I'm
there's a
not
battle going on in Atlanta.
surprised.
There's one in Brooklyn. There's one in Houston. I think he might be in Houston.
But seeing that Daylight stepping into music more and the stuff he's coming out, Daylight's dope, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Man, it's just like I don't know, man. It's just interesting because usually when we hit points like this in hip hop, it's stale, and then we get some dope shit. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm
I
hoping
hope so.
I hope we get some dope shit that follows after this. You know what I'm saying? Because I always say this too, and people may laugh or whatever. I'll be like, man, why my generation have to be the one that has everything that sucks? Like I've seen music be like hit a low. I've seen sports is trending down. I'm seeing fashion being where it's at. I'm like, man, why? Like, I can't really say my generation. It's a generation afterwards because my generation they held it down. You know what I'm saying? We had errors and stuff that appealed to my demo. But it's like, I guess the lowest thing, but it's still like, I guess we could still put us in that thing. But it's like to see everything diluted and where it's at, it's like, man, why? Like when we talk about the greatness of this and see where it's at, it's kind of like, man, fuck, why did stuff have to trend so south?